This cable will carry pictures from your computer to your screen, okay? It sends images, videos, and more using the binary code. Again, those codes allow your computer to communicate. Plug the yellow cable into the brain, okay? So we're actually going to go from one place to the other. So we're going to go into the brain. We got to make sure it's pushed all the way in. So if you don't know where to plug it in at, just look at the shape and match the shapes. Okay, only one of them will this work. Now we're just going to put our cable, we're going to press it in so we can make sure that our cables are neat. And then we're going to come over here and put the other side in. Okay? Should look like this. Now we're going to grab the orange cable. Okay? This cable sends data when the screen is touched to the computer. So your touch screen, this cord, if you don't have this cord plugged in, your touch screen will not work. Okay? Plug the big end of the orange cable into the brain. Alright, so we're just going to go right up front, and again, it's like a puzzle piece. So look at the end, there's going to be a white line up top. When you look inside the USB cable in here, it's going to be a black line on top. So I know that I need to make my white line on the bottom and just plug it in. I didn't put my white line on the bottom. Alright, it's plugged in. And now we're going to plug it into the driver board. So it's a little weird. And we're just going to actually punch it in. I like to punch it in before. They want you to punch it in after. It's up to you. I'm a punch in before type person. Okay. Oh, and it came out anyway, so I'm still doing it at the end. So it should look like this. Okay, so all neat. Yellow and orange cords in. We're good to go. Time to give your computer a voice. Pick up the DIY speaker. So we have our DIY speaker. This USB is going to be our power. And then we have a sound cable. Okay? Your audio jack, aux cord, whatever you want to call it. It has two cables, audio jack, USB. The audio cable sends signals. Okay? Sound is simply your ears detecting vibrations in the air. So they will vibrate the magnet membrane and their air inside. We're going to plug the power cable into the brain's USB. So again, back with our USB on the brain. Remember, this is our driver board. This is our brain. We're going into the brain first. Again, puzzle piece. White line on the bottom. Black line on top. Okay. Now, the audio jack. Ooh. This whole piece is going into the brain so far. Okay. Just so you can see. Okay, this is how it's looking right now. The audio jack's here and the power's into the USB. Make sure you plug the cables all the way in. So just let's go around and check and make sure everything is pushed in neatly. Okay, everything in? Great. Push the cables into the cable block. So what we're going to do here is the small cable is not going to reach the cable block. Our large blue cable is going to come into this cable block, and then we're going to just simply snap. So I'm actually going to snap this first and then put my blue cable in because it's a little easier for me. So there's a little hole here. We're going to snap it into. So now it should look like this. Okay. So far, we have 3 cables in. One for power, one for sound, and one for our graphic images. Now we're going to grab our USB hub, and it's considered a hub, but there's 3, okay? It's more than one. You can plug in memory sticks and Kano sensors into this. Push the hub onto the block using the holes. So, you'll notice when you flip your hub over, there's 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to plug that into the holes, okay? All right, just like that, okay? Just like that. Now click the hub onto the screen, okay? You're gonna notice bottom of your hub has 2 holes. We have 2 spots left, one with 2 holes, one with 3 holes, so we know we're in the 2-hole location. And we're actually gonna face it outward. If you notice, there's already 3 slots, so once we put the back of the screen on, all you're gonna have is those ports. Now plug it into the brain. Notice everything gets plugged into the brain for power. So we're just gonna plug it right on top of our orange cord. And our green cord is going to nicely sit inside of our cable like that. Okay? If we were live, I would offer questions, but we're not live. So if you like this video and you think I should do a live one, let us know in the comments, like, share, and definitely subscribe to the East Cleveland Public Library's YouTube page. All right, let's move on. Let's add some electricity. We're grabbing the battery. Inside the battery are billions of moving electrons, which create electricity. We look on the back of our battery. It has 3 slots. We know we have 1 with 3 slots left. We're going to have our USB facing your left. My left, your left. Left. All right. Just like that. Push it in firmly. And notice that I have my screen on top of the foam that it came with, just because I want to make sure that it stays protected. Okay. Now grab the short end of the red cable. So remember we had a cable with 2 pieces. We're going to grab the short end and we're going to plug it into the power board. So now we're moving on to our power board. And notice on our power board we have a small little piece, and we're just going to plug that in, and just like that. Okay? Just like that. And please make sure it's the shorter one. If you have to, just pull the longer one out. Just double check that it's the short one. So just double check that you have the short cable. Now we're going to grab our power board and line it up with the brain's pins. So the brain has these little spiky pins that we really don't want to touch with our hands. And our power board has spots for it. So we're going to go ahead and connect that in while your red circle is on the outside. So that actually doesn't go down too far. I was trying to see if it can go down further, but no, it kind of just sits on top. Make sure it just covers all the pins, okay? So we just want to make sure all the pins are covered. So if you have to, pick it up gently. Make sure all the pins are covered. And we're looking good. We're looking good. Now push it all the way down. All right. So we are pushing it all the way down. There we go. It's all the way in. So we no longer can see any of our pins. You connected the board to the general purpose input and output pins. Good job. Take the longer end of the cable. Okay. And we're going to stretch it all the way over to the driver board. Remember, brain, driver board. Okay. So we're coming all the way across. Now plug the large end into the USB port on the battery. So now we're going to plug this piece into the battery. Again, puzzle piece, white on the bottom, black on the top. And of course we are going to snap our cable in so it can be all neat. It's not really staying in for me too much. So this is what we have so far. Look good? Look at us, building a tablet.